So I wanted to address something about the rancilio Silvia that I see on almost every YouTube video you can find on the machine. And when they're talking about pulling a shot and steaming, a lot of the information out there tells you that you should steam your milk first and then pull your shot. And I just wanted to show you how and why I disagree with that advice. And I actually recommend that you pull your shot first and then steam your milk. The reasoning they usually use is that if you pull your shot first, your shot is sitting out and it takes several seconds for the boiler to heat up to steam your milk. And that's true. And the reason they say that that is bad is because your shot is just sitting out for too long. And I just kind of disagree with that idea. I think if your shot can't sit out for a couple seconds, 30, 40 seconds while you're steaming your milk, that speaks more to your coffee quality than it does to anything else regarding this machine. I feel like that's kind of a workaround, and it's unnecessary. And I'm going to pull a couple shots on my Silvia and explain why I believe this. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the PID control that I have for my Silvia, which I think this is why I disagree with that notion. I think that you get much better, much more consistent results with this with this machine if you pull your shot first and then steam your milk after. So let's get into it. Okay, so my Silvia has this PID control, which lets me real-time monitor the boiler temperature of my machine. And I think this is a clear demonstration of why I really recommend that people with this machine, even if you don't have this PID controller, I really recommend that if you're going to make a latte, that you should pull your shot first and then steam your milk. And I'm going to show you why here. So I turned on the steam button so you can see it's getting up to temp. The boiler is still heating. When this turns off, that's when you're ready to steam. Okay, so my boiler is up to temp. I'm about to steam some milk, and then I'm going to show you something. All right? So I just turned off my steam knob, and now I'm going to refill my boiler. Okay, and I'm at 218. So if you didn't have this PID control, you'd be like, oh, let's pull my shot. I don't have a shot in here, but check this out. Like, you go to pull your shot. Let's say, look at this. Look at all this. You don't want all that steam hitting your shot. So I would not consider this ready to pull a shot at all based on this. Even that temp is low. That temp is low. That's, steam shouldn't come out of there, but look, it does. It's not until you completely empty that boiler of all the steam that I think I would consider this machine ready to pull a shot again. So, now I feel like it's getting a little better. Like there. So that's good. See, there's no steam. It's just water coming out. Now this thing is ready to pull a shot. But look at that. That's way too low of a temperature to pull a shot at. So, just a little bit of a summary on the rancilio Silvia. If you steam your milk first, the boiler gets piping hot and it gets filled with a lot of steam. Once you're done steaming your milk and you refill the boiler and do everything you're supposed to do before you pull your shot, the machine is still not ready to pull a shot. There's still a lot of latent steam inside the boiler, and your shot is going to end up getting hit with a bunch of steam, and it's going to end up tasting really weird probably. And it's going to be very, very inconsistent. So that's why I recommend that you get your machine nice and heated up, you get the temperature all stable, exactly where you want it, you get your nice shot pulled, and then you steam your milk, because then the temperature isn't as important for the milk steaming. It just needs to get really hot and make steam, and then you're good to go. Because that process of taking the machine from the steaming temperature back down to pulling a shot takes a long time and is really weird and kind of finicky. So, which is fine, but once you know that, I think you'll make a lot better espresso.